Hello, collective. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, you guys. Welcome into the channel, you guys. So it is Tuesday. It is Shadow Work Tuesday, to be more specific. So this is going to be your first shadow work message for today. I'm going to pull messages from the Shadow Work Oracle, just seeing what the overall energy is, kind of what energies, unconscious energies the collective needs to be working on, be focused on, maybe a situation that you're currently dealing with because of these particular energies. I will also get you some clarification from the Love and Career Oracle, and then also some from Mystic. So let's get started, you guys. Let's see what we can learn about our shadow sides today. Welcome back, all of my current followers and subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys have been showing the channel. It's absolutely incredible. I love the growth. Welcome in all of the incoming followers and subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. I'm glad that you've joined the Soul Tribe. When you hit that subscribe button, just make sure to hit that arrow, hit the all button, just so that you don't miss any of the other messages that I upload for you on a daily basis. And I'll also give a shout out to all of the cross watchers, all of the people who watch the channel, who subscribe and unsubscribe to the channel. Hopefully, my messages while you are listening also give you some food for thought, also give you some knowledge that maybe you didn't know about yourself. And I hope that it's also useful for you as well. All right, you guys. Well, let's get started. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I'm going to just pull a spread and then let's kind of talk about what we got going on here. I hope you guys have had an amazing day, morning, or afternoon, or whenever you are catching this message. I pray that you guys are always still working on your healing. You know, as we know, collective, and I always say healing is definitely not pretty. You know, it's a pretty ugly process. It doesn't have to be all that ugly, but it's definitely not easy when you're having to tackle situations, you know, things about yourself, especially that have to do with your character. It's really hard to, you know, look at yourself in the mirror and realize that, you know, there are things that you really need, you know, to truly be working on. You know, and sometimes because we're human, right? Sometimes there's just things that we don't notice about ourselves until someone points them out, or we get in a situation where somebody brings something up. And then it's kind of like, okay, now it's on display what my issues are, maybe that I've never paid attention to. I can see now how these particular issues that I have affect my relationships and the people around me. And again, it's always going to be up to you whether you decide to address these issues or not, whether you decide to try to grow and become a better person, or whether you decide to stay stagnant and stay exactly where you are. And whatever consequences come with your choice, you shouldn't be surprised, whether those are good or whether those are bad. All right, you guys. Okay. So let's start. So the first one that came out says inner cosmos. So let me just read it here. So, inner cosmos, to embrace the light, first acknowledge the dark trauma, seeing go deeper. This is a perfect first message for the collective. So, this is about learning that in order to find your light side, in order to find the healing, you have to look at your trauma. You have to actually face it. You can't ignore it. You can't push it away. You can't numb it. So, in order to embrace your light, you have to first acknowledge that there is a dark side, that there are shadow aspects of yourself that need to be looked at. And with it coming out in the reverse, it's telling me that some of you guys may be having a hard time. And I can completely understand why you could have a hard time with that, especially depending on what the actual trauma was or is that you're dealing with. Sometimes, if it's trauma from childhood, that's tough. That's tough to truly look at and truly have to focus in on, because it's going to bring up so many other issues. It's going to bring up other people that were involved, and it can definitely get ugly. But this is telling me, again, this is something that you're struggling with. So this is something that you really need to try to face. Then we have light the darkness. Darkness cannot dispel darkness, only light can. Love, clarity, and awareness. Yes, exactly. As you are working to face your fear, face your trauma in order to go deeper, right? You don't need to face darkness with darkness, right? During times of healing, you need light, you need love, you need clarity, you need awareness of what you're dealing with, of what happened, of what you're going through. That is how you dispel the darkness, by finding the love, finding the clarity, making yourself aware. So, as you start to truly work on your inner healing, facing the dark aspects of yourself, and get the love and support while you're doing it, you start to find the clarity, you start to find the light in the situation. And you realize, especially if this is trauma that happened to you when you were younger, this is not something that you need to blame yourself for. As a child, we're all innocent. We don't know what's going on a lot of the times, and we have people who are supposed to take care of us. So sometimes the things that happen to us, we can't blame ourselves for as an adult. But unfortunately, because of the choices that the people made who were supposed to be our caregivers, who were maybe irresponsible, who were maybe selfish at the time, now as an adult, we have to deal with the product. We have to deal with who we are as a person now that we are an adult because of the trauma that we had to go through, whatever that may be. I don't like to get into details because, everybody's sensitive to different things. But if this is your story and you went through something as a child, any type of abuse, from physical to emotional, anything, you'll understand what I'm saying. Then we have sacred boundaries. Respecting and honoring your limits sets you free. So let me repeat that again. Respecting and honoring your limits sets you free. Assertiveness and self-care. So it's in the reverse. So maybe this is a lot of you guys not having strong enough boundaries when it comes to your space, when it comes to you as a person, when it comes to your energy. Maybe because there are possible issues of abandonment, you don't have true boundaries with people, or maybe the boundaries you have are, um, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not healthy. Okay. People set boundaries, by not communicating, by ghosting people, especially people who truly love and care for them. Right? So there are healthy boundaries and unhealthy boundaries. And I feel like maybe the issue and the reason why you have this shadow aspect of yourself is because you don't have healthy boundaries with people in your life. So people are allowed to come into your energy, people are allowed to get whatever it is they want from you without you putting up a fight, without you knowing how to say no. Maybe you're a people pleaser. That is a lack of a boundary, lack of a healthy boundary. Being a yes person because you always want to make sure that everyone has a smile on your face while people could care less whether you're smiling. And I'm speaking from personal experience when it comes to that specifically. I have an open and caring heart. I like the people in my life that I say I care for to be happy. And if that means doing something for them, especially if it's not something stressful or that's going to put me in a bad position, it's kind of like, well, why not? Why not be okay with being of service to others, especially if it's going to help them? However, what I found is people look at you and look at that kindness that you have as naivety, as a weakness. And so people begin to take you for granted, take advantage of you as well. And they do not appreciate what you do when you don't have any boundaries. When they feel like you're that person, they can always pick up the phone and call, and they know that you're going to answer. They know that you'll be there for them if they give you a sob story about a situation they got going on. But guess what? When the tables are flipped, when you need that person, I guarantee you they won't answer the phone for you. So why are you truly giving your all to get nothing? You cannot keep giving from a cup that is not refilled with love and support. Then we have mental contest. Strength isn't from winning. Struggles define strengths, control, power, repress. Some of you have control issues. And you have a win at all cost mentality. And if that is you, collective, this could be somebody that you're dealing with or somebody that's in your energy or in your family. Flip it where it goes. But people who have a win at all cost mentality, who thinks, they should be entitled, especially if they are constantly winning or beating everyone or have more than everyone. This is a person with an ego of wanting to have control. And that control comes from a deep rooted insecurity within themselves. So anytime they feel like they've lost or feel like a loser, they can't handle that. Their ego doesn't handle that well. That means that they need to heal whatever their insecurity is that they're feeling. Because nobody wins all the time, especially when you feel like winning should be something you're entitled to. That does not make you strong. It actually makes you weak, because it means that you are okay with everyone else around you being a loser but you. You don't care about anybody around you winning, growing, or evolving as long as you are. It's very selfish. It's a very selfish energy. Then we have making peace. In the midst of adversity lies the path to self-discovery, profound, genuine risk. Making peace in the reverse. In the reverse, this is an energy of, again, kind of going off of this mental contest here. People who are not able to make peace with others because they lack accountability. They don't feel like they should have to apologize for any wrongdoings or how they made others feel. So they burn bridges more than they create. Or they create bridges by manipulation, not by integrity. So they cause chaos wherever they go rather than creating peace and harmony. Then we have addiction. Compulsive need, despite negative consequences, get support and therapy, healing, liberation, and support. With it coming out in the reverse, this is a type of energy who doesn't see themselves as having any type of addiction. They think that them making their choices and doing the things that they do on a regular basis is their decision. They will never look at this as an addiction. Although it's probably apparent that it is, based on the consequences that they usually have to deal with, whether that is regarding their job, whether that's regarding their family, whether that's regarding legal issues. There are consequences to addictions, and addictions can be anything. Some people are addicted to stalking, invading people's privacy. Addiction can also be substances, alcohol. Addictions can also be abuse of others. So there is a long list of addictions. It's not just about substance, but usually a person will have multiple different kinds that needs to be healed, that needs to be addressed, that needs support and therapy. In order to be free, you have to seek help. You have to be willing to say to yourself, yes, I have an issue. Because I'm sure that there's been people in your life Again, whether this is people in your life that you know that have these behaviors, or maybe this is you, collective. Maybe you are in this energy, or maybe this is something that you've dealt with before that you've had to fight through and battle through. And if you've made it through that, I would say congratulations. I'm very, very proud of you, because I know that it's not an easy thing to do, because first of all, you have to be accountable. Second of all, you have to take action for yourself. You have to want to give your self-care and self-love. You have to value yourself enough to want to improve, to be better, not come from a space of bitterness. So that's amazing if you have made it through that. And if you are struggling with that, then realize that there are always resources available to you as well. But try not to sit in this energy, especially if you've come to the point in life where you are even tired of it. I feel like most people has a point, a threshold point, where they get sick of something, a behavior, themselves, how they speak, to themselves, their mentality, especially when it starts to ruin and affect the relationships in their lives. Then we have shedding illusions. The first step is awareness. The second is acceptance, reality, honesty, self-love. Yeah, to stop living in illusions, you have to first be aware that you create illusions for yourself, for others. And it's heartbreaking when you purposely create illusions for others that you know are not true, that you know at the end of the day will eventually break their heart or hurt their feelings. But if you're also living in an illusion, maybe that's all you know. So you have to start with being self-aware, looking at your life without rose-colored glasses and looking at the reality of the situation and accepting it for what it is in order to shed the illusion. You have to be real. You have to be honest. You have to love yourself enough to accept a reality, to work towards changing it. And then we have defensive, unseen resistance to unresolved issues, explore with curiosity, reflection, acceptance, and growth. Some of you are defensive towards everyone because there is such a lack of trust, because you've been heartbroken multiple times, because you've been disappointed multiple times, because you've been backstabbed. I can attest to the backstabbing. I can attest to the broken hearts. All things I've experienced by people who I actually truly loved. And the pain is unbearable. And it wants you to create a barrier around your heart so that you are defensive all the time and you are constantly guarded. And you should be, when it comes to those that you know are not for you, that do not have your best interest at heart. But you don't need to always be defensive towards everyone, because not everyone is out to make you feel bad, to break your heart, to take you for granted, to take from you. Yes, there are people that are okay with being in that energy, and I'm sad for them. But not everyone is like that, collective. So don't approach everyone automatically complete defense. Allow people a chance. If you have discernment, if you use your intuition, you'll be able to see whether someone is for you or not. It may take a little time, like I always say, because when people first approach you, they'll do everything they can to put their best foot forward. But time always tells everything, or somebody else will just tell on them. Eventually, you'll find out who they are. So, all right, let me get you some Oracle, some clarifying messages here to help you with dealing with some of these. Like I said, I'm proud of anybody that decides to work on themselves, because there's a lot of people who just give up on themselves, who just like to sit in this energy of a lack mindset, of negativity and pessimism, and they like to project it onto others. unfortunately. And maybe it's just because they don't feel that they're worth love. Maybe they don't feel like they're worth support. Maybe it's been ingrained so much in them that they don't even believe in themselves. I feel like everybody has a choice. If they choose to be better, they will, but it is always up to you, the individual. Nobody can make you choose to be better or make you want to be better. And it doesn't matter how much love you show someone, they will just take from you and stay in that energy if they are not ready to change, if they are not ready to acknowledge their shadow, period. Release burdens, embrace clarity, and let go of what no longer serves you, allowing new insights to guide your truth. Yes, collective. As you go through your healing, as you address your shadow, start letting go. Once you have clarity of why you're acting or in a certain way, you have a certain behavior that is of the shadow. Once you find clarity and you start to grow and work and evolve, release the burden of that. Don't hold on to any guilt, any shame. Again, we're all humans. We've all made mistakes. And the whole point is to grow as we learn, as we evolve. Take the lesson, but don't hold the burden. What else? Clear path. Embrace the journey ahead with an open heart, ready to discover and grow from the revelations to come. Yes, again, you have to have an open heart in order to show your self love, because that's the love that is the most important, especially when you are healing. That's where you start with self love. If you don't love yourself, nobody else will be able to love you because you will not be able to receive it properly. You will see it as someone trying to play you. You will see it as someone trying to take something from you because you're not used to it, because it's so foreign to you. Oh, that person doesn't really love me. I'm sure they just want something from me, or that's what the people around you will tell you. And because you don't even believe you deserve love, you will believe the people around you who also want you to stay unhappy because they're not happy. And you will lose out on amazing support and people in your life. So practice self-love, open your heart, keep your heart open, collective. Commit to the journey with determination, go all in for the long term. Your steadfast focus will bring lasting rewards. Yes, don't let anyone distract you from your path. Like I said, people who are not happy themselves will try to make you feel bad for wanting to grow, wanting to heal, wanting to evolve, wanting to be a better person. And again, that's very sad for those individuals, but you can't save others. So this is about you focusing on you, staying committed to yourself, to your journey of growth, of self-care, of love. Learn the lessons, commit to your journey so you don't have to keep repeating the patterns. What else? Just a few more. Make miracles. Stay open minded and receptive to the magic unfolding in your life. As you begin to heal, collective, you will start to see life differently because you will have a different lens on, maybe a new set of glasses that show you reality. And as you begin to heal and work through your trauma, work through your shadow sides, start to implement them into your daily life, you will start to see blessings come towards you, good people be attracted towards you. So stay open minded and believe that you deserve better. Hidden keys, put things together piece by piece to reveal the bigger picture. Yeah. Take it one step at a time. Okay. This is not a sprint. This is more like a marathon because healing never stops. There's always something that we can improve on because we're never going to be absolutely perfect people. That's not the point. It's about just being aware. People that are in relationships, there shouldn't be one partner or another partner who expects the other to be perfect all the time. Yes, your partner is going to have a bad day every once in a while. As long as they don't take it out on you and become abusive, allow them to have a bad day. Allow them to feel through that negative emotion. Allow them to address it with you with an open mind and an open heart and an open ear. That's what this is about. It's about growth. It's not about judgment. Okay. Highest good. Embrace the journey with openness, trusting in the universe to lead you toward your greatest fulfillment. The universe will support you on your journey, collective. As you begin to grow, heal, and evolve, you will be supported because you will be saying to yourself that you deserve better. So you will begin to attract better. You will start to be given better. People will start to treat you better because it is what you expect. You will get better. All right. Let me get you a mystic to close this out. Where there is hope, don't believe that past defeats or disappointments will keep you from succeeding. True success grows from the lessons. A hopeful heart never gives up. Beautiful message to end this on. Where there is hope, collective. Your past defeats and disappointments cannot keep you from succeeding unless you allow them, unless you give them the power to. True success grows from the lessons, from the wisdom. So keep your heart open and hopeful and never give up, especially on yourself. And that's where I'm going to leave this, collective. I love you guys to the moon and back. I pray the message was useful. Hope it gave you some food for thought. Keep growing, keep healing, keep moving forward no matter what, because you are worthy. You are worth it. Tell yourself that every single day. And guess what? If you don't believe it now, trust and believe eventually you will. And you will start to see the ones who don't believe in you. All right, collective, until next time, this message resonated, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. I'll see you guys on another one. Later.